morning from the garden. We have all sorts of updates to do since the last video that we did. A lot has changed. We have, and I think that I'll put the before and after of this in there, we have a new patio that we built, I think it was last Thursday. We also cleaned all of the patios in our backyard, and we refinished this one with a cedared color stain and sealer all in one. It looks great. We also did our little fence here, so that's protected. That is my giant cup of coffee on our giant air conditioner. I did put down some grass seed. Bill raked it up really nice, and then I put down the grass seed, and it is, I see this morning, starting to germinate already, so that's wonderful. This is my mortgage lifter. This is where he is going to officially live now. We kind of have everything all situated now that we have the patio done. So the green stock planter is going to be over in the corner over there, and kind of a little bit more out of the way than when it was right in the middle of the patio. And this mortgage lifter is obviously my biggest tomato plant by far. It is loving its spot. It's loving the pot that it's in, and it's starting to create fruit and flowers. It's doing really, really well. So that's a really exciting plant. We have not finished this patio yet. It's just hard with tank and with everything that we have going on. We keep thinking it's going to rain, but apparently it's never going to ever again. I'm not bitter, but it really hasn't rained in probably almost 2 weeks, so everything is getting really, really dry. I had the sprinkler out yesterday to try and really deep water a few of the areas in the garden. These are my house plants. These are my aloe vera house plants, and that thing was just sad. It was super top heavy. It kept falling over, so I repotted the giant plant, and I put the pups in another different pot. So we'll see how that goes. That's exciting. This is the pot that's going to live up on the patio now. Things that got rearranged from our patio. This is still just looking pretty. It looks like the lilies are going to bloom sometime soon. Some of them anyway. We've got all of this. Here's another huge change that we did. We bought a little tiller, and I'll put a video of us tilling up this area right here. We really are excited to have that tool in our garden now, and I just decided that this area was kind of silly to have grass in it, and it was just weird. It's still a little weird, but I think that I'll be able to make it pretty now. I'm going to put some kind of a little box under the trellis here, and I think I'm going to try to grow some strawberry plants. I love strawberries, and I've just never had very much success with them, just because they never come back, because I've got them in raised gardens, and this way we're going to be able to... Oh, that's my Kajari melon, and it fell over. Oh, look at how sad it is. Oh, no. Oh, I hope it recovers. It got watered hard. Yikes. Wow. Anyways, the Kajari melon. We're going to put strawberries in here. I'm hoping that we will be able to actually get strawberry, perennial strawberries to come back every year by having them in the ground here. So, Bill mentioned yesterday that there's a bunch of compost that's ready, so we're going to bring compost and till it in with this, and get this little garden all ready. We kind of dug up over here. We're gonna, probably cut that off right at the top of that trellis. We'll leave this to be a kind of a grassy area for doing something with these water barrels. We're talking about maybe moving them all over here and getting rid of these hostas so that stuff can grow in and not get hurt by doing the work with the water barrels. You gotta pull them out of there and clean them and all of that. Alright, here's some of my little tomato plants, and as you'll be able to see, 8 million little maple trees from all of those helicopters. It's got like 100% success rate at germinating. So we'll have to come through here and play Paul Bunyan and pull down 8 million maple trees. Hopefully that's not a Minnesotan thing, the Paul Bunyan reference. If it is, it's a Minnesotan thing. Look it up. And then some of my bigger tomatoes are over here, which is interesting. So these just get more sun than the others over there. So these are a little bit more healthy. These guys over here are getting pretty big too. These are my little annuals, salvias. They're purple. They're starting to grow a little taller. God, they must just really want some warm weather. And we still are not having very much warm weather that, you know, things like that are going to enjoy. But they're slowly coming in. Here's some tomato plants. It looks like, oh, look at that. Oh, that's so exciting. This is a sun gold. This is a sun gold that needs to be staked sooner than later. So I will have to go get a stake. We've got the cannas coming in. Cannas, however you want to say it. Over here, this is really fun. This is a Jetstar tomato, and he's getting some little tomato lits on him. All the tomatoes are really starting to flower, and that's really exciting. This is the sunflowers over here that are starting. They're probably 3 feet tall, but I feel like they're really going to take off now that they've gotten that tall. The loosestrife is starting to bloom. The dark green one is prettier than this one right now as far as blooms go. These are the red skin dahlias that are really starting to fill in over here. And then over here we have our new blueberry enclosure. So it is serious. Like, we do not want the rabbit to get in there and eat my blueberry plants. So we built this perfect box for it. It's just some half by 2s or something, little wood that we built and put some hardware cloth around it. I was able to put down the fertilizer that I purchased. It's organic fertilizer for blueberries and hydrangeas and things like that. And then I was able to put down a nice big layer of mulch down in there. So hopefully the blueberries will be happy. I did notice a little bit more. I'm going to try to get around here without smashing anything. I did notice a little bit more growth. This is new since we did this, so in the last few days this is new growth, which is great. And then you can see the few blueberries. This is the happiest plant, the one in the front, and again, I wish I knew what all the plants were, but I don't, and I don't see that. When we were digging around in there, I didn't see the tags anymore, so that's okay. We'll get there. The trumpeter vine is making a bit of a recovery in some of the plant. This part is obviously continuing to grow. However, this stick here that had started to grow back has died. Like, I don't know if it got broke, if it got nibbled down at the bottom. It's this branch here. I have no idea why it decided to, but that's fine. As long as the plant's alive, I'm okay with it. Here's some of the beautiful garden over here. It's just filling in so nice and just getting really happy and healthy. Again, the loosestrife over here is starting to bloom, and just, it's so beautiful with that dark green and the bright yellow, and it's just a fun plant to have. These are all tomato plants hidden around in here. They're doubled or tripled in size, so they're starting to really excel in their homes. That is a Baptista or a wild blue indigo? False indigo? I don't know. Anyways, that's starting to bloom. I'm excited for him. I hope that that plant, now that it's getting, it was so grown up around there, and we've pulled all of that stuff out of there. So I hope he does better now with that. The calendula finally bloomed yesterday, and of course they closed up for the night. I actually didn't know that they did that, so that's really fun. I do have a few more plants back ready to be planted in the garden, and I'm going to do that in the newly tilled area. I love that plant. I might regret it. I've heard that I might regret it based on it reseeding itself, but I'm willing to accept that. Oh, this is a really fun thing that, so this right here is a milkweed plant. And this little guy is a monarch caterpillar. I can't believe I already have a monarch caterpillar in June. I don't remember that ever happening before. I don't usually get this cycle of monarchs in my garden. So this is pretty exciting and a huge motivation that we're really going to need to get going on rebuilding the butterfly house a lot sooner than later. So over here you can see that the tree lilies are really starting to take off. They should get about 4 to 5 feet tall. They're just really slow to come up this year, so that's okay though. They do have little buds starting on them, so I'm glad to see that. This salvia is really starting to take off. That'll be a really fun red stripe over here. And we've got the little, they're really little still, but the dahlias should fill in this area really nice after it gets going. This is such a fun find at the garden center the other day. We found more, this is a golden shrimp plant. So this is a baby golden shrimp plant, and I am really excited to have found it. This monstrosity over here is my old golden shrimp plant, and I have had that for probably 4 years now, and I overwinter it in the house every winter, and it's just, I mean, you can just see it's tall, it's spindly. So what I did, now that I have a backup plant that I don't have to worry quite so much about, is I'm going to trim this guy back even more. But you'll be able to see that I've gone in here and trimmed back some of the sticks, and I put them in these vials with some rooting compound, or whatever you call it, rooting powder, that I get these vials from when I order vanilla beans online. So yeah, I'm hoping to be able to really start some plants. I was always shy about doing that because I didn't want to hurt the main plant or lose the little starts. So anyways, it's very exciting. I think that there's another one. I don't see it on the table here. I never know what I do with stuff, I guess. Oh, there he is. He's over with my little Buddha. That one is a golden shrimp plant start that actually, he came up, I cut him off and he rooted. So he was my first experiment with propagating it, and excitingly it worked. So, and the chattering in the background is the wren. The wren now has babies that are, he's got babies that are getting big enough that you can hear the babies in there. When that happens, it's almost like the wren gets really stressed. And when the wren gets stressed, he changes from singing his beautiful song to sounding like the backyard is full of weird little rattlesnakes. So he's mad at me right now because I'm standing here. Actually, he's been just chattering all morning, so I don't even know that he's mad at me. I might go in and feed the baby. He's sitting there with a bug in his face. Go feed your baby. Do it. He's getting a little closer. Oh, there's a red-winged blackbird. I don't hear the babies this morning. I mean, I know they're in there, but just the little wren. The garden is really fun. We've got all kinds of fun things going on. It's really starting to fill in nice. Same with over here. This is all just so nice and full, and got some pretty blooms happening. All of these lilies will bloom eventually. I don't want to say soon because I don't think that it is soon. It'll probably be another month or so before those really take off blooming. Proud to say that all of this stuff that I started from seed is filling in this beautiful little area so nicely. I've got these little marigolds that are finally starting to bloom, and that's the Baker Creek Queen something salvia that is starting to bloom. Or it actually does look like it might bloom. it's doing really well. Back here we have some weeding that needs to be done, but also this is some ground cherry plants, and they're starting to do really well. The one in the back is kind of sad, and I'm thinking that the other two are shadowing him out, but that's why I planted more than I needed, probably because I don't know how successful I'll be. Here's another view of the patio from the other side over here. We're hoping to get Mandy to start climbing. So she's sort of working on it. Again, needs to warm up a little, I think, for Mandy. And then over here, just all of this. The peonies are blooming. I've got the pink and the white. We'll go visit those. Everything's just filling in so nice, except for where the rabbit wants to come and eat everything. He ate some kale. Stupid rabbit. But my ground cover is starting to bloom over here. The wren just went flying through. The wren is very, very busy. He's a very busy little guy right now. I think, is that Russian sage? I don't know what it is. It's either Russian sage or a salvia. But with the miniature irises in front of it, it's so pretty. Just so beautiful back here. And the peony blooming with that tall, giant hosta in front of it. Just a really fun place in the garden with the other giant lime green hosta. These ones aren't opening right. I think it's too dry for them, so I do keep watering the plant, but it's funny, I think that closed overnight. I didn't know peonies did that either. Like, all these plants open and close overnight, and I didn't know, so I can try and come back and get a better view of that. Same with these. They're getting so heavy. I do have them tied up, but they're just so beautiful. They're just a tall, gorgeous, fly out of it. The fly out of there. The fly doesn't want to leave it. They're just so beautiful. Just these humongous blooms. And they smell like heaven back here. It's gorgeous. I'm so excited that I finally had luck with a peony. It took my grandma's magic in order to do it, but we got it. We got a beautiful peony. And then just a fun view of the backyard. I also came through yesterday and I put some more dirt up around our potatoes in the ground. I might have been too late. I'm going to be honest, I have never had potato plants flower. That's weird to me. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it's weird. I hope that's a good thing. My onions are just shot. Like, I was looking at Seed to Forks flowers this morning, or garden this morning, and Instagram, and her onions are like standing up like normal people, and mine just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not enough light, maybe not enough water. It's hard to say. It's my first year growing them, so. And then back here is just a really fun, we've got the, this is a different mortgage lifter. I do have some mulch that I bought. I will be mulching a lot of the tops of these containers to help them just retain some of the water during these dry times. It is just getting so dry. A lot of the stuff's falling over. So I'm going to have to go in here, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to straighten everything up, stake up what needs to be staked, separate out some of these huge plants that are like that. Tomatillo is really knocking over into a tomato and another tomato plant over there. So that's great. I mean, it's a great problem to have that my plants are getting so big that they're knocking into each other. So that's why I had so much extra space back here, is I knew that that was going to happen. So that is one of my projects today. I'm going to pull all of these plants out. I'm going to mow in here. I'm sure we'll eventually till this up and just have this be an in-ground garden back here. But yeah, it's really fun. The hops are taking off, growing all over out of there. We're gonna have to retrain some of these. I'm not sure if I can even reach that, but we're gonna, yeah, I can reach that. We're gonna retrain some of these to run back up the trellis, but it's just really fun to see all the growth on. This one's running down the middle, which is totally what we wanted. We would love for this to grow to the top and then just run across the top and have it be a real nice full area on the top of the trellis here. So it's doing really good. It's a fun thing. We pulled out some of the overgrown ferns back here, and we found this beautiful hosta back here. I didn't even know it was back here. It's a super tall, just pretty hosta, so that's exciting. I think we might go for it and take out at least all of them in the front here, and I might try to plant some of those irises from that box that I have over there. The box of irises that I don't know what to do with might get planted back in here, and see how those do. Back garden is just getting full and pretty. The rabbit loves hanging out back here. I do have good news, sad news, weird news. The little bird in the greenhouse has fledged, so we really don't need the sign there anymore. It left the other morning, and we haven't really seen them since. Every now and then I can hear the cardinals around, but they are not hanging out right next to where they nested, which is normal. The wrens never stay for very long after they fledge either. And then just the little gardening table. Here's my raised garden vegetable bed, and this is looking really good too. I mean, a lot of this is bolted, which is fine. It needs to be pulled out of there. I actually have some more spinach that I can put along this front part here. This lettuce is doing amazingly well. These are 2 iceberg lettuces, and we're getting actual heads on it, which is silly how excited I am for that. I'm going to climb in the garden here. Ugh. Try not to step on anything. This is celery, and I've never grown celery before. I do like celery, so I'm excited to see how that turns out and if it's any good. It looks like it's growing really well. I did end up pulling my radishes yesterday, and they didn't do quite as well as I was hoping that they would, but they did better than I've ever had success with them before, so I'm not going to complain. Put some Romanesco broccoli back in there that was in that little cup. We'll see if it takes out. I mean, it seems like it's cool enough, but if it's not, it's not. That's fine too. We'll see. We'll give it a couple weeks, and if it doesn't want to take off, we'll just plant some beans or something in there to fill in that area, something that's quick. Some little bush beans or something will come in there and fill in quick for late summer. And then this is my beets, and they seem to be doing pretty good, so hopefully they'll continue to grow. I do see that I have some kind of a jerk that comes along and eats them. I did find some caterpillars, some big gross caterpillars in with the radishes, and so I don't know if that's what's eating that. And the bucket of potatoes back here needs a whole lot more dirt in it. But that's about it for the garden tour. So yeah, thanks for joining and thanks for watching. I'll try to keep up a little better. It's been a busy time, but a really fun, exciting time. So enjoy your day.